Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne, that's your name. Back to do your bonus read. Oh, perhaps sometimes it would be nice to forget. When my kids were little and they used to call me mummy all the time, I used to say to them, I'm going to change my name so you don't know how to say it. Mummy, mummy, mummy. Alrighty, let's get into the bonus read. There were some shout outs I did over the last few weeks too. I must start getting back to doing shout outs for people. There are some people that I've met along the journey who have started their own YouTube channels up. So I'll try and get some 3 I think in the last couple of weeks. So I'll get some information on them and give them a little bit of a shout out. So they too can get themselves out in the limelight. I love seeing people get their dreams coming true, that having the confidence to really start out on their dream paths. I think it's so important to follow your life path or follow your dream. Okay, a lot of us are scared of doing that though because we've been so focused on making $1. All right. This is the Golden Tarot by Cat Black, and I do have the Magician coming out. Now, the Magician is the card of the Master Manifestor. When he appears in a reading, he says to us, there is no need to worry. You have everything you need on your journey. All of these things, all of these resources, all what you have within you are all provided for you. You do not have to worry. You can manifest what you want. You just have to trust that you have the power to do that and you have everything you need. Okay, this is quite interesting. So we've got the Magician, we've got the King of Cups representing Cancer, Pisces and Scorpio. I feel like some of you may be dealing with a person here who may have started to understand that they have the power to do what's required of them. Sometimes people are in situations where they sort of become very despondent, very unhappy, feeling they don't have something they need to do what they need to do. Very interesting here because this Magician has a duck. He may have that last duck that we've all been looking for, right? So this to me says, somebody here has finally worked out that they have this ability to manifest. We do have the Nine of Cups, so this is a wish coming true here. So this is really beautiful, beautiful energy. But there is a tower here, and behind the tower we have the Knight of Coins. Okay, this is very interesting. I feel that somebody has made some sort of decision here to make their wish come true. Somebody here is realizing that they have what they need. So it may be, that, for example, that, you've put in all your effort and time into something and not going somewhere, but then you sort of wake up one day and see an easier way of doing things. I feel that this person's had a tower moment. So what I'm thinking here is there's been some sort of epiphany, some sort of awakening here for this person, for them to realize that they can have their dream. They do have everything they need and they can go after what they want. There's an offer here with the Knight of Coins. So somebody here is making an offer because they finally realized they can. I watched a really good, one of my favorite people to watch is the Spartan coach, Richard Grannon. And Richard Grannon was so huge in helping me through the narcissism journey, understanding myself. I love his very blunt and honest way of really saying it as it is, and I really respect that. So I've always found him, he really aligns with my thinking, and some of the time he will challenge the way I think about things. So I really like him for that reason. I don't always agree with everything, and I think that's okay. I come from a very spiritual perspective, and I feel like sometimes he's quite spiritual, but he may come from a bit more of a logical perspective. And while I come the other way, I think I probably have the logical perspective as well, but I sort of tend to sort of veer towards the more spiritual. Anyway, he was talking about, the rules in life, and which is what I've been getting a lot of messages from Spirit about at the moment. These rules that we live by. And the one thing he mentioned, which I think was so potent for me, was this idea that, you know, once you're locked into something, you can't escape it. It's like you have this duty, this obligation, this feeling that you have to stay where you are because that's what you have, where it's a very human concept. So some people stay, for example, in relationships, marriages, situations for many, many years, even though they are really poorly treated. I've met people who've been really badly abused by the person they're living with, and when you ask them why they're not leaving, it's because they've made this choice to marry this person, and therefore they feel that they have to stay in this situation. And when he said it, I thought, you know what, we do this to ourselves all the time. We think we're obligated. We think we have to do things a certain way. Our core beliefs, our mindsets, the way we do things, all rely on this idea that we may have formed as a child. We may have formed it very early in life. You may have had a parent who said to you, oh, once you're married, that's it, you're married for life. You've got to stay there forever. And then people stay in these really treacherous relationships because they feel obligated. They're obligated because of the children. They're obligated because they need the money. They're obligated because of security. And the thing is, it would be all right if they understood that. So if you were able to say, I don't want to leave this relationship because how am I going to support myself? Then that sort of shows that there's some thinking there about how to escape from something that's not good for you. But at the end of the day, you can escape a situation no matter what. So, you know, I'm thinking about myself in this situation too, because I think it's really relevant, where I sat for a number of years thinking, how am I going to get away? I had 3 very young children, and it frightened the life out of me. And then one day I woke up and I said to myself, there has to be an answer here. So I started seeking answers, and I found a place that would give me somewhere to live. I found somewhere that would support me financially just while I got on my feet. I found somewhere where I could get food vouchers. I found somewhere where I could get help, support for my emotional stuff. And one night, when the ex had left to go to work, I packed up the children and I went, and I left everything behind. The only thing I took with me was the stuff for the children. So their bedding, their TV, whatever they had that was theirs, I took with me. And I went into a furnished place, so I didn't need anything. And I remember like finally getting there and feeling like I had to keep looking over my shoulder because I was really scared about what would happen after that wave. And it did. And I coped with it. And things couldn't have been better. Things couldn't get better. It may have been the first few weeks where I was sort of looking over my shoulder, but at the end of the day, I got there. So I think that we tend to think, and what I was going to say to that was, of course, what happens with your family is everybody scorns you for doing it. They don't see what went on behind closed doors. So they're like, what's your problem? What's wrong with you? Why are you going to leave a perfectly good relationship? How are you going to cope with 3 children? Who's going to want you with 3 kids? That was the sort of response I got. And it's really funny because I probably did question myself back then. I look back now, I think, wow, I don't even know how I did it. Like, it was just amazing what I did. I was probably about 20, maybe mid-20s. And I think what I did was absolutely amazing. I could have stayed there. I could have stayed where I was, but I was extremely unhappy. I, didn't see anything good in life whatsoever other than my children. And I look back and I think, wow, I truly amazed myself by doing that, truly did. So there's nothing to stop you. If it's not what you want, if you are really unhappy where you are, if it really is not where you see yourself going forward, there is no rule, there is no limit, there is nothing there to say you can't do it. Sure, you might have to go poor for a while, sure, you may have to do without for a while, but your sense of self and your sanity survives. Anyway, I must have needed to say that to someone today. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords coming in here. I better whip through the reading now we've done all that. Knight of Swords followed by the Fool. Someone's cutting something out to take a leap of faith here. Someone's cutting something away. They have had some sort of wake up realization. Something here has come in. Could be dealing with a Cancer because we do have the Chariot here. But there's forward movement. This person is making a move. I think they're leaving conflict behind. I think I've said that for a particular reason. I think that they understand their intuition now. Perhaps they've been avoiding that. And I think they are seeing that ahead of them is this beautiful future, this happiness, this joy that they've been denying themselves for so long. They've been living in the dark here. Okay, so some sort of decision needs to be made. And the decision here is being helped by the Wheel of Fortune. Someone's gone round in circles here. Someone's gone round in circles. Before I put the last card down, let me go back. So someone has realized they have everything they need. They want to have a wish come true. And I think they've had some sort of push here from the universe to move forward. But they're on their way with an offer. Whoever this is, they've been doing this, I'm going to do this for a long time. This has been many, many months, maybe even years of going round in circles. All I can see in this reading is circles. This person has been doing this, I'm going to leave, I can't deal with this, I don't want to be here, around and around. And every time they get to the bottom of the circle, something here makes them stay. And they are getting very, very tired, very worn out, and very emotionally distraught trying to cope with this. So the choice to move forward has come around again, but this time there's forward movement. This is beautiful. Chariot, Sun, and the Wheel of Fortune. Someone on the move because they've had the calling from their intuition. Okay, and then we have the Ten of Swords. Right, so somebody's closing out some pain, some unhappiness, some negativity, and moving forward here. Possibly to go towards their wish, to go towards what they want. They understand they have everything they need on this journey. And I feel the universe has given them that message there to move towards their joy and happiness. Whoever this is, whether this is you or whether it's someone else, the joy and happiness makes me feel breathless. I feel like my breath has been taken away. So I think it's very scary for this person, whoever they are. But I think there's a feeling here of total elation, total happiness, because there's just this, finally, I've done it, finally. Okay, so this is called the Hungry Ghosts. And it's about obsession, scarcity consciousness, and attachment. Wow. Okie dokie, I can see where that one's coming from. Someone's moving away from some sort of attachment that they formed to something or somebody. All right. When the hungry ghosts appear on your path, they may not at first seem like allies because they just represent your constant focus on the past and the consuming desire to know the future, which rob you of your true present. But in fact, they are here in the service of alerting you to obsessive thinking and addictions. They're masters at magnifying repetitive behaviours. Round and round. The message is for you to examine whether you're doing the same thing over and over while expecting a different result. This time will be different, and I have control over these are false statements and a sign of deep denial of the truth. Now is the time to let go of that thinking. Surrender your will, your life, your heart's desires, and all that pains you to the divine. Order will be restored in your world. The hungry ghosts also bring you understanding about the distractions of life that seduce you into forgetting what you really desire. They're asking you to become aware of what others want, and what the culture dictates will make you happy may not be what's best for you. Don't get caught up in outside appearances. All that glitters may not be gold, at least not for you. Look beyond the veneer and you will find the true substance in your life. You deserve nothing less. Well, that was a perfect card for that reading. Have a great day.